All right, so what's up, everybody? I'm back again. This is Brian. This video is titled "A Study into Game Stalking 3," trying to make sense of it all. I am using my PS4 headset. Um, they came with the PS4, the little, basic earbud microphone to record. So I checked the audio, so it sounded okay. I mean, it was audible. It was loud enough. So bear with me. We're going to go into this, and we're just going to begin. Okay, so the purpose of these videos is to study gang stalking, but before we get into that, I'm gonna give you an update. Falling back, the past week or so, I fell back, meaning I have stopped trying to collect data, collect footage, in order to see, what type of change would happen. Since there was a major change once I started to publish these videos, um, I've noticed that around where I live, they've tried to stop not stop, but they've adjusted to the point where now they try to be more discreet when they do things. And they still do things, but they try to time it where I'm not able to, get access to my camera or to, um, make it to, see what's going on. They also, from the base that they have set up, they put up little, some type of thing around the fence so that I'm not able to see from any of my vantage points. So that way they can mimic. Uh, like when I'm playing music in the house, they'll play music from that base that they have set up, but I'm not able actually to see who it is exactly anymore. Stuff like that. So there's been major changes. There's also been an increase of police presence, um, especially when I'm with my daughter, which I don't know for some reason it is disrespectful in a way. I noticed when I'm with my daughter, there's a heavier police presence. Once I started making these videos, there was already a heavy police presence, but once I started, when I'm with my child, when we're going to the store or stuff like that, I've noticed that yeah, they really disrespectful in that way. So, um, my family is targeted, meaning, I was at my aunt's birthday dinner, and family was talking. They were sharing stories, and they all had similar stories of workplace harassment. They all had similar stories of police presence in their lives, meaning, you know, and it just clicked to me that these people aren't just invading my personal space and my privacy, they're also lightly invading my family's personal space and privacy. So that caused me to stop falling back. And now I have to, starting to understand more, I'm starting to see and predict things more frequently. I'm able to predict their movements a lot more. So I'm I can't say I understand more. I don't know, you know, but I'm able to kind of guess now, and I'm usually correct. I'm wrong sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm able to predict pretty much what they're going to do. Not sweating the small stuff anymore. Like I said, man, uh they're showing their cards, meaning, whatever the reason that they have this access to my personal life, they don't care about me. You know, when I'm with my daughter, she's 9 years old. I see a heavy police presence. What's the reason for that? These people don't care about me. What I heard my family say, they don't care about my family. They don't care about me. But so I can't sweat the small stuff anymore. With the cigarettes and the colored shirts and the color coordinated cars. Now we're not sweating that stuff anymore. We're trying to actually, my last bullet point, we're trying to get answers now. We're going to contemplate a plan. We're going to think of ways to get results now. If it takes me months, years, 100 years, I don't care anymore, because these people are showing their lack of respect. Okay. They're showing that I can't even put it in words, but once I heard the stories my family was saying, and once when I have because my daughter doesn't live with me, she splits time between, you know, her mother and I, and when I'm with her, I notice a heavier presence of these people. So something clicked in me when she was with me this past week that really made me realize that I really need to get answers. You know, I need to move up a step. I need to ignore this little small game that they play. You know, when I'm playing music, they're playing music. When I'm in the room, they'll pull up stuff like that. That's not even. You know, we're past that. We're moving up. We're gonna come. Even if it takes me 20 years, I don't care. We're going to get answers. Okay. Could care less about the time it takes. I could care less about what they're thinking, what they want to do. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, we're we're focused. We're not going to make this our lives. We're not going to allow this to take away our life. You know, I'm not going to uh, devote all my energy and ignore, you know, the areas of my life. But no matter what, we're going to get some type of answers from this. We're not going to allow people to disrespect us. You know, we don't have any enemies. We don't have. There's no reason for someone to invade our personal space and our privacy in the way that they do it. You know, there's no reason for there to be a police presence around me all the time. There's no reason. Okay, if there was a reason, I'd be more understanding. But there's no reason. I don't have an issue with the police. You know, I don't have an issue with the people I live around. I don't have an issue with, you know, any agency. I don't have an affiliation with anything. I'm a solo person. And now that I know that it's not just me, and for some reason when I have my child with me, they want to increase what they do, we have to get answers. Okay? So we're gonna move on. So where I'm at in my mind right now, you know, and it's not important to you guys where I'm at in my mind, but it's more serious when I think about this now. It's not a game anymore. Okay? We have to live our lives with this, so we have to get some type of there has to be some type of resolution, some type of justice. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at in my mind right now. We're gonna devise a plan. We're gonna come up with some type of way to get certain results that we're looking for. If it takes us 15, 20, 30 years, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do this because they could possibly be around for 15, 20, 30 years. Okay? So we're going to endure all that we have to endure to get what we need to get because our rights, our privacy, our lives are being stolen and people are profiting from it. People are profiting from it. Whatever they try to make it seem like they're doing, they're just profiting from it. That's it. That's what it all boils down to. So we're gonna move on. Correlations. I speak a lot about correlations, but what is a correlation and why is that so important? Okay. So I have here images, screenshots of two definitions of correlations. The one on the left is from a book called Surveillance Zone. I told you I was going to give you excerpts of books because I don't know anything. That's also where I'm at in my mind. I realize I don't really know anything. I know how to predict this protocol. I know what they're going to do as far as the tactics and stuff like that. But as far as information, I don't have what I'm looking for. So I can't sweat that little small stuff they do. We have to move up. Okay, so what is a correlation? From the book on the left. In general, a correlation can be any act of observing, moving, signaling, or communicating, or even just presence over time and distance. That's very important, which is done in conjunction with the target. And though there are ways to blur and camouflage these types of correlations, with the exception of a few rare cases, There is no real way to completely eliminate them while still conducting effective physical surveillance. That paragraph is very important. Okay. Now, this is a Google search definition of correlation: a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things, independence of variable quantities, a quantity measuring the extent of interdependence of variable quantities. Basically, you know, in our case, in regards to what we're dealing with, correlation is uh, variable instances that are related without possibly being viewed, without seeming like they're related, but we know that they're related. Now, I want you to remember that even just presence over time and distance, okay? So just the presence of these people is a correlation. Just the presence of them being there, no matter what they appear to be doing, okay? And this book was written by an actual security professional. I'm not going to give away everything from that book, but just note what I just said. The presence, okay? So we're going to move on to the next slide. Correlations continue. All these passages from the same book, just different excerpts, okay? So we're going to start on the left. We're going to read this entire paragraph, 2 paragraphs. What makes surveillance so difficult, however, is that as seemingly normal as an operative might strive to appear, the fact will always remain that there is a constant tension, a conflict between their appearance and what they're actually doing. And it is within the scope of what the operative is actually doing, visually collecting information on the target, that most surveillance correlations can be found. So we're going to pause. So what this is saying is that whatever they're trying to do, however they're trying to disguise it, however discreet they're trying to be, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a telltale sign, okay, that gives them away. There's going to be some type of tension that alerts you to let you know that these are the people that you find suspicious. That's why whenever they switch up, no matter what they're wearing, no matter how many they are, what they look like, what vehicles they're in, what color vehicles, et cetera, I can pretty much tell where they're at and which individual is which now. It's been going on for so long that I can notice that tension that this paragraph is talking about. There's usually something, they're usually too focused on trying not to look at you, or they usually try to make eye, like it's something that they give away. Usually, sometimes it's behavioral, sometimes it's just, you notice their body movements, you observe body language and stuff like this. Is some telltale sign, is what this is saying, that usually gives us away. So we're going to go on with the second paragraph at the box on the left, okay? If a surveillance operative is trying to visually collect information on a target, then as natural as their actions may seem, correlations to the target are almost inevitable. The simple act of looking at a target is a correlation. Moving in conjunction with the target in order to not lose track of it is another type of correlation. Paying close attention to the target at key moments can also be a type of correlation. Signaling, gesturing, telephoning, texting, or even just checking. I cut it off because the rest wasn't really important. It was all I want to say is a correlation. But we see the signaling, we see the gesturing. In regards to us, them basically just being around you is a correlation. Okay? It connects to the other occurrences of them being around you. Regardless of what they're doing, regardless of what vehicle they're in, regardless of what they look like, it's a correlation. Like I told you, these people try to do slight little things, to agitate us over here at the home base, like playing music when I'm playing music, stuff like that. Even though I can't see them doing that, it's a correlation. I can note every single time they do it. You know what I'm saying? They try to hide behind, some fence that blocks the visibility now. They're still over there. That's a correlation. Just the presence of these people, okay, is enough to be noted by professionals. That's why I put this in here, because this is written by a security professional. So it lets you know that what we're dealing with is already noted by other professionals. This guy is a professional, and he's writing this book, speaking to other professionals in his profession. So, and he's showing you how to detect surveillance. So if there's a professional teaching you how to detect surveillance, other professionals know what we're talking about. You see what I'm saying? This is not some rocket science. Other professionals know. There's other agencies that know. If you and we're noting correlations, we're noting patterns. Okay? So we're gonna move on to the right. We're gonna start at the top, and we're gonna read this first box. Half of the first sentence is cut off, okay? So we're gonna start reading at the first full sentence. Excuse me. Surveillance indicators can be very subtle, and this means that SD requires a very subtle eye. Next paragraph. As discussed earlier, a correlation over time and/or distance is the mere presence of the same individual or possibly a number of individuals in the vicinity of the target. No direct observation, communication, photography, movement, or even subtle correlation gestures are detected, and yet there the person is, over and over again, in different times and places where the target just happens to be. This can be very difficult to detect because it's not so much a matter of visual observation as it is the ability to notice and keep track of people. Wow, powerful. That's information for you guys. For me, myself, I tell you, I don't know anything. I'm learning, and the people who are trying to figure this out, we're all trying to figure this out. This lets you know, okay, just from these two passages that I've read, that this is beatable because people know. Professional people know. They know what they're trying to do. You see? They know how they're trying to appear normal, yet they can't appear normal. Okay? So it's not impossible. That's why we're going to get answers. We have to get answers. Okay? So whatever it is these guys are trying to pull off, however discreet they're trying to be about it, however subtle, incognito they're trying to be, just their actual presence around you is enough for other security professionals. Okay? So I'm saying these people are security professionals, right? So other security professionals know what these people are doing because this is protocol. You get what I'm saying? Just their presence alone, no matter what they try to do, they can switch up 1,000 times. Man, and they do. They will. That's why I know changes. I don't just know what they do. I know changes. There's no reason, man. Like what is their goal? What is their reason? And that's where I'm at in my mind right now. Like what's your purpose? Because it's silly. Why are you around me? What do you want? It's been 2 years. What are you looking for that you don't have? Like this is where I'm at right now. Because I don't like what I heard with my family. I don't like when I'm with my daughter that they try to do. They try to increase the police presence. For what? What are you doing? Okay. Like there's times where I see the actual police helicopters, and I see them on my own. But when I got my child with me, like, are you trying to intimidate me? Like, what are you trying to do? What's your purpose? Okay. Because you're not getting information by just driving around. That's like intimidation. They drive past you when you're on your road and you're on the road and you see this fleet of vehicles that you can spot that you're under this some type of protocol. How can they collect information on you? From where they are. Just think about that. If I'm on foot and there's this fleet of vehicles, driving past me everywhere I go, how could they collect any type of information? Like what type? And so, what is their goal? What's their reasoning? Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm getting worked up because I it's silly. So the next excerpt at the bottom on the right. Even if an individual is not seen looking at the target, their mere presence in relation to the target over time and distance can indicate a correlation. Again, what I showed you in the last presentation, just with them being there, the police presence, that correlates, meaning it connects to everything that I've been telling you. It connects to the other events. There's a connection between the events over a number of days, time, distance, where I'm at, how far I travel, how close they are to me. Okay? So we were asking again, what's the purpose? Because if these are security professionals around us and other security professionals know what they're doing, then maybe we can figure it out. So we're going to continue. So we spoke about correlations, just the presence alone. I want to show you the amount of presence sometimes. Okay? And this isn't every day. Like I told you, I fell back. I stopped because I wanted to see what would happen. And I did little things, and I got some type of footage. And what you're looking at is from 6/5/2018, 1:02 p.m. This is me walking to the store. Okay, went to a grocery store, and like I told you, I'm not driving the car right now. My car has been wrecked, so I'm on foot most of the time. So I begin my walk. What do I see? Okay, and then right after that, okay, I see a low flying plane, and then after I come back from the store at 1:20 p.m., we got this guy. And then we got another low flying plane. And then we got another. I'm telling you, I've seen like 5 low flying planes on my way to the store. Okay, this is from 6/6. We spoke about in other presentations, you know, um, first responder vehicles, as they call them, or I call them public service vehicles, like an ambulance. Okay, this is 6/6, 6:15 a.m. This is on my way to work. We got an ambulance going by. This is at the first bus stop. I get to the second bus stop. We have an ambulance. Okay, 6/6, 6:41 a.m. Okay, and then we get to where we're going. This lady appears. Told you about the cigarette and the hand that they hold them in, closest to me. Okay, she's holding in the hand, and a lot of people are right-handed, and I was standing on her right side. So, hey, she could just be walking, smoking a cigarette, enjoying her time, but she wasn't smoking it. She was just holding it in her hand, closest to me. So I thought it was suspicious. Okay, 6/6, 7:48 a.m. Another low flying plane. 6/6, 5:33 p.m. on my way home. Across the street, in between the white car and the black car in front of it, there's a police officer while I'm waiting for the second bus. And here's the most suspicious episode of them all. We spoke about what they do. We spoke about the little, they try to, you know, show up, blockade and stuff like that. Police presence. We're gonna watch a video. Same day, 6/6. This is after I got off the bus. I'm pretty much going to walk home now. after work, I walk into a store first so I can get this footage. But check this out. So what did you see? As soon as I got off the bus, what did you see? Police. Flashing lights. So that whole day, I was pretty much my way to work, my way home from work. I was their presence. I was around these people that I deemed suspicious, and they was doing it like I told you. Instead of in the actual, color coded vehicles or whatever, they're doing it now in these types of vehicles. The police presence has increased. I'm seeing sirens now. I'm seeing ambulances and stuff like that now. So just their presence alone, though, correlates to other events, connects to other events, without them even having to look at me, without them even having to do little gestures with their faces where they touch the nose or touch their hair or whatever the crap they do. It doesn't matter. Just them being there. Not only does it correlate, it signifies an invasion of privacy, because they can be everywhere I am at any given time. So whatever they're doing, they're invading my privacy to the point where they're making it known to me. So I ask again, what's the point of that? We'll think about these things in another vehicle. We're talking about correlations right now. So like I said, when I'm with my daughter, and I know you, what you're about to see is me walking in the alley. There's a store behind the house. Quickest way to get there is the alley. So I'm with my daughter actually at this point. And this isn't a good video because I wasn't quick with my phone this time. But what you're actually about to see is an ambulance parked in the back of someone's house. No lights, no sirens went off before, to say there's an ambulance on the way to help someone. There was no sirens before. There was no um there was no anything signifying that there's an ambulance on the way to save somebody. It was just sitting in the back of a house, flashing lights at the same time I was leaving my house. Okay, and I didn't get it good enough on video, but you can see the lights.
Yeah, 12 hours of sleep.
Okay, so I try to blow it up on the picture so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Videos keep replaying when I press next slides. Okay, so I screenshotted the video. You can see the lights. It's behind these trees, parked in the back of someone's house. There was no sirens blasting. It was just these lights flashing. And it was a full ambulance. It was an I don't know how to say a full ambulance. It was an actual ambulance. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next slide. We walk to the store. We get there. This lovely officer guy. Um, I believe this is a video. Okay, so I'm ordering food, and this guy was literally parked out in front of this restaurant. We walked to the store, stopped and got some food at the restaurant. This guy was literally parked out front the whole time we was in there. And then I started to record. He walks in. So we have the ambulance in the alley behind our house. We have this guy parked in front of the guy in the restaurant. He comes inside. And I got him leaving, okay? When I left, his car was still parked out there. I tried to get as much of the car as I can. So again, we're not just picking these people out at random. These people have invaded our privacy to the point where they're appearing wherever we are. Okay? But there's no reason. Nobody said, hey, man, we're doing this for such and such reason. They just took what they wanted. Okay? Just took it without notice, without warrant, without a signature, without care for another human being, without respect for another human being's privacy. Okay? They just took it. Plain and simple. But the correlations, we notice. We notice the presence. And I'm beginning here in the study. That's why I began with correlations, because we have to we got to learn to notice their presence. And then we can talk about why are they doing this crap that they're doing. Why? What's your point? What information was he gathering right there? He was gathering no information. He was just there. And if it's his psychological warfare, then he's there just to agitate, just to agitate us. To keep me under some, constant stress or whatever. I don't know. But I felt disrespected at his presence. Why are you around me? And why do you increase presence when I'm with my daughter? Why is my family telling these stories, sharing these stories that all sound similar to my experiences at the dinner table? What gives you the right to do these things? You know? So where am I at in my mind right now? I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, this type of stuff doesn't bother me. Them smoking cigarettes in my face. Them, they've been doing this a lot, where they play music when I play music. Or if I'm playing something on my phone, they'll stop their music so they can, like, literally as soon as I play, they'll stop the music so they can, like, I'm over that stupid stuff. We're over all of that. What we need to do, and we're still going to study it. Don't get me wrong, because we still got to break it down. But I got to figure it out. Um, I got to get more answers. I got to get some type of answer. I got to figure out what I need to get, and then figure out a way to get those answers, get those results. Because these people don't care. They don't care what they do. It's obvious. They don't. And I'm trying to leave my emotions out of it at this point, but to just to show you correlations. That's all I was trying to show you. And if this is clouded with my emotions, so be it. But I don't even know what to say. We're just going to continue. We're going to keep moving forward. So this is from today, actually. Everywhere I go. Note the time. 1:50. Okay. So on this particular day, I'm actually trying to get to an interview. I wasn't able to make the interview though. I had to reschedule. But regardless, as I'm on my way, what do you see? What do you see? Who do you see? And look how he's parked. This guy. Then we move forward. We see that guy. So the last picture was at 150. This is at 151. So you got one parked, and then you got one coming. So their presence alone is correlation. Their presence alone is enough for professionals to determine that there's something going on. We're noting the time. 150 for the first guy, 151 for this guy. Okay? And then 157, same day, 2 day, low flying plane. Very low flying plane. What's the purpose of that? Who is wasting money? Like, there's so much better use for this stuff. Okay, you see two officers who could be doing something completely different. This is a full size aircraft. 1:57 p.m. So, okay, we're speaking of correlations. Have you noticed that the appearance of these officers usually correlates with the appearance of a low flying aircraft? Sometimes it's an actual police helicopter. Okay. So when we even begin to think of what possibly could be going on, we have to figure who has access to this type of stuff. Okay. They all act as criminals, though. Remember that. But criminals could be absolutely anybody at any given time of day. Next slide. 1:58 p.m. This guy and a black car next to him. So I was quick with this. You had an aircraft flying, and then I noticed this guy coming. And this is not just, this is everywhere I go, every day. I could do this every day of my life, everywhere I go, in different freaking cities. I frequent Indianapolis because that's where my sister lived, my brother-in-law, and my nieces and nephews. So we go there for Christmas. My daughter goes there just to hang out with her cousins and play with her cousins sometimes. She stays for a week. I'll stay for a week. Whatever. It's my family. So we go frequent. We can do this same exact thing up there. I can take these same type of pictures up there at any time I'm traveling. Okay, in any area with the aircrafts and everything. And we can do the silly color-coded vehicles and the cigarettes and all that stuff up there too. But we're past that. We're not even thinking about it. We got to figure this out and get a resolution because I'm not going to allow. Okay, I don't allow this. I don't condone because I don't know why. I don't understand what their purpose is. No one has ever respected me enough to tell me what their purpose is. So why should I allow it? Why should I be okay with it? You know? And I'm not even disrespecting anybody at this point. I'm not placing blame. I'm not doing anything. I'm saying what they're doing is disrespectful. Regardless of how it appears, because they stole your information to do these things constantly. And we haven't even gotten into, the meat of the matter. So where I'm at in my mind right now is okay, you know, there's a number of people who could care less about me, about my family. Okay, so we know that. So we know that we can expect, well, we're not going to expect anything, but we can see, there's a number of possibilities, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. And not only that, you got people moving in on this block who's a part of this stuff. Which, as a warfare tactic, that's very threatening for them to move close to your vicinity. If they were to plan an attack on you, they would already be in close quarters. So we noting that there's people on in the neighborhood that I live at who is conspirators, co-conspirators of this operation because they participate. They victimize me as well. And that's serious. That's threatening because they live close. They have access to my information. But for what reason? Okay. And I'm not speaking, and I'm not going to speak these things into existence because I believe in it. I believe if you speak things, you know, enough, you give possibility to it. And we're not. That's not what we're doing. We're just understanding. We're knowing what we're up against, and that's not speaking nothing into existence. That's just being realistic. We're being realistic, and realistically, we could win too. We have the advantage. We just got to learn how to use it. We can win too. Because if this is this protocol, then their presence alone, and they're going to have a presence. Okay, and I don't know. So where I'm at in my mind right now, we're over the small stuff. We'll still make videos about it, but we gotta move forward. We gotta do better. We gotta get answers in some type of way at some point. I don't care if it takes me 1,000 years. I ain't worried about none of it. For people to have access to you, to hear you in your privacy, that's I can't think of anything worse. So we're gonna move on. So, what type of crime is being committed? What I have here is two excerpts from the Department of Justice website. Um, these are actual. Uh, I don't know what do you call it. It comes from Section 42 USC uh, statutes. We can call it. Can we call it that? Section 18. Pretty much this is federal law stuff we're dealing with. Okay. So the first type of crime is federal criminal enforcement. It is a crime for one or more persons acting under color of law willfully to deprive or conspire to deprive another person of any right protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. I don't have to read the rest of it. You can pause it and you can read the rest of it. So what I just read was the box on the left. So these people are acting under the color of law willfully to deprive us of our rights as citizens. And they're conspiring because it's two or more people. It's a lot of people, actually, conspiring against us to take away our right to privacy, take away our right to be private. In some cases, taking away your right to function, taking away your livelihood, taking away your mind. They take so much from you. They're not just following you; they're taking and they're profiting from you. I guarantee it. Otherwise, there would be no reason. These people are profiting. They're making money. And in my case, I know they're making money. I can see it. I see them making money off me without a care in the world. They don't care. It's criminal behavior. Okay? So we're going to read the box on the left. Police misconduct provision. This law makes it unlawful for state or local law enforcement officers to engage in a pattern or practice of conduct that deprives persons of rights protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. So everything I just showed you falls under this law. Everything I just showed you breaks this law because they don't have a warrant, no due process. There's no investigation being had. everything. Like you can read all that yourself. But so this is police misconduct provision. Just their presence alone signifies that they have access to my privacy. I'm making this video in order just to help somebody. I don't know if it's helpful at all to anybody, but it was helpful to me. So in conclusion, something has to give at some point. You know, I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm up against. I don't know why I'm up against what I'm up against, and as we don't know. As a community of people who are victimized in this way, we have no idea what we're doing. We don't know. We're all speculating, but it's not unbeatable. And we have to be honest. We're all guessing. We're all trying to make sense of it all. We're trying to get some type of answers out of this evil shit that's going on. Okay, because it's serious, and people can do whatever they want with me. I can handle anything. I feel like I can. I may not be able to, but I can. I can say that I feel like I can handle anything. So whatever they try to do to me, I'm gonna find a way to live with it. But if I believe my family's involved, it's completely different. So somewhere along the line, there has to be some type of answers given, and that's how we're gonna think. And I spoke about speaking things into existence. I'm going to speak that into existence. I will get answers, affirmations, powerful. Affirmations are powerful. So we're going to have that in our mind every day. Because I can make this video every day. I can go to Kalamazoo, Missouri, and make this same type of video with the same type of information and footage. Because these people do not give a fuck about me. I'm sorry for cussing, but they don't. If they did, they would respect my life and my privacy. And with that being said, I try to keep this video under an hour. We have 48 minutes right now, so I thank you for listening, and God bless all of y'all, and I hope everybody stays safe.